Hey there guys, what is going on? We're back again with Captain Price's Eyes Simulator 2020. Basically, we are still somehow looking through these patch notes that did come out about a month ago. I think it was the 29th last month. So we're still working our way through all of these different balance changes, and man, the SCAR 20 has always been one of those weapons that's pretty good, but it's always been sort of limited in its attachment choices, making it sort of interesting to use weapon. Like, it's always a little bit more difficult to use than typical other assault rifles as terms of attachments. Basically, what we're looking at here today is the most powerful SCAR 20 class setup in Modern Warfare, in my opinion. Basically, it's a little bit different to how we would normally run our classes based on our attachment options, but it's still one that absolutely shreds people. Like, it deals great damage. There's nothing wrong with the SCAR 20's damage. It's always been its sort of attachment options in terms of being a little bit too slow, not having enough ammo. Like, it's always been pretty good. And in that most recent patch notes that we did look at previously, basically the SCAR did receive a little bit of a buff when it received a little bit more ammo than it normally gets when it does start. So that's a big help for being able to continue to go on those longer streaks. And like I said, that's always been the downfall of the SCAR 20 not having enough ammo to shoot. Anyway, just before we do get into talking about our best class setup here, let's try and get this one to 25 likes. The support from you guys has continued to be absolutely fantastic recently. We are very, very close to 2,400 subscribers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on in case you don't want to miss out on any more of these videos. So let's jump straight into our SCAR class here, because we have a little bit to talk about. This is a fairly interesting class setup that we've got going on right now. Alrighty, so starting off with our sidearm perks and grenade choices like we normally do. This is a very standard setup in terms of those things. We are starting with the Akimbo 357s. If you've watched any of my videos recently, you'll know that this is a very powerful, if a little bit more difficult to use sidearm than we would normally expect. Basically, we can get those like 20-meter long shots with this particular pistol with this Akimbo class setup with the Compensator 357 long barrel, the 5mm laser, the lightweight trigger, and the Akimbo perk. Very, very powerful for basically just blowing people away. We run out of ammo on our SCAR, we just pull out these and we can blast people away. You do have to be a little bit more accurate than you would normally be with Akimbo pistols, but I mean, if you hit the shot, you're pretty much going to get the kill guaranteed. In terms of our perks, we're looking at a very, very standard setup of EOD, Ghost, and Tracker here. Again, very, very standard in terms of EOD. Being able to not die to those explosives is very, very powerful. But if you're not super fussed about explosives, Quick Fix is another good option here to get that health regeneration started as soon as you do get a kill. Kill Chain also good here for extending our kill streaks into other streaks. Very, very powerful as well. Ghost in the perk 2 slot, very, very important, staying off those UAVs, allowing us to move around the map a lot more easily. And of course, Tracker does combine well with Ghost to let us see enemy footprints, and we're just sort of the ultimate sort of hunting machine, being able to sort of move around most parts of the map and follow people, get easy kills on them with Tracker. C4, of course, is our lethal of choice, as it is one of the best options in the game. It's even powerful as sort of utility, as you can chuck around a corner and blow it up, creating a small smoke screen, which allows you to move past. Basically very, very powerful on maps with those longer lines of sight, like Shoot House, then of course Cheshire Park, where you can chuck it and then move and just sort of get away from the action. The tactical is of course the stim shot as usual. You can of course run your flashes, your stuns, your smokes, whatever you really do prefer here. Stim shot for going on those longer streaks, again getting an extra chance per life, is very, very powerful. As for our attachments on the SCAR 20 class, like the SCAR isn't something that I'd used typically a lot previously, as it's always been a little bit tricky for the attachments to work in terms of sort of meshing together nicely. So we've gone with a setup that doesn't include a barrel. Normally the barrels we would look at are the 17.2 inch and the 20 inch for that damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. But as it does say here with a lot of these, they do decrease our agility and our mobility, which is not ideal for something like this. And we don't want to feel too slow. Like when we got the 20 inch barrel attached, we basically feel like we got an LMG, so that's not ideal. So again, skipping over the barrel here and starting off with the monolithic suppressor. For that, we get the sound suppression as well as about a 10% increase to our damage range, which is very, very powerful here. Of course, being able to hit those shots from slightly further away, as I said, the SCAR does not suffer from a lack of damage. It's always been one of those weapons that shoots very, very powerful bullets, very, very easy to get those kills if you do land those shots. In the stock slot, we are running the FSS close quarters stock instead of the FTAC collapsible stock. I believe this was part of the no stock nerf with that movement speed and aim down sight speed. Basically increasing the recoil that we do get on weapons with this sort of sight attached makes it very, very hard to hit our shots with this attached. And as we don't really have too many recoil controlling attachments on this particular class, we're just going with some aim down sight speed, which is very, very powerful here. You can of course swap this out for a TAC laser if you feel so inclined. The TAC laser, which we haven't unlocked here, very, very close to unlocking it though, does give us that aim down sight speed as well, and is typically more aim down sight speed improvement over the FSS close quarters stock, but I don't really like the visible laser, so moving on. We've got the Commando foregrip, which is basically the standard for most assault rifles. That horizontal recoil control makes it very, very easy to hit our shots here. In the ammunition slot, we are looking at the 25 round mags. Always been the downfall of the Scar is its 20 round mag stock size, which is a little bit too small, unfortunately, if you're trying to fight more than one person. 25 is a nice little sort of middle ground that gives us a little bit more ammo capacity while not reducing our movement speed too much with the 30 round mag. We want the stipple grip tape as well, aim down, sight speed, sprint to fire speed, very, very powerful as well. But if you are looking going on those longer streaks, you can probably swap out the FSS close quarters stock for like the fully loaded perk just to get more ammo. But this is of course our particular Scar class. It's very powerful in the right hands, which turns out that's my hands. I actually do like the Scar. It's always been a little bit tricky to use though, but I think we've got a decent class setup going on here. So we're going to jump into some gameplay right now and show off this particular class, and we'll do some serious work with this in my opinion, because this is a very, very powerful option right now. Of course, Kandor Hideout is a very, very appropriate map to test this out on. It does have decently long lines of sight as well as close quarters areas for maximum killing potential. I mean, the Scar is always going to be one of those weapons that's a little bit overlooked in this game, as we are sort of comparing it to like other assault rifles like your M4s and stuff like that. There is a little bit of lag going on right now, which is a bit of a pain. But if you do land those bullets, like if you get those shots on target, you get those sights up nice and quickly, man, this is not a good start. Okay, I feel like I deserve that. Anyway, as I was saying, the Scar 20 is always going to be one of those weapons that does get overlooked, which is a little bit unfortunate as there are like god guns in the assault rifle slot. But man, like you just get those sights on target, start sending those bullets down range, and you'll typically get the kill on most. Okay, what is this start, dude? Just people coming around the corner getting the jump on us. We're going to jump wide peak here. Where did the guy go? Where did... Footsteps. Okay. We got a little bit lucky there with the random hip fire spread, but the Scar is always going to be one of those weapons that's a little bit trickier to use than your normal assault rifle because of its lower ammo count. I mean, probably should have warmed up before I did this. I played a couple of games, but I mean, you start recording and the gameplay turns to trash. That's usually how it goes. If we want to play this kind of successfully, you can see there we can do a decent amount of work at those medium ranges, like medium to longer. Get a nice amount of kills here. We got a UAV started on us here. I'm pretty sure they're going to be coming from this way. Or they're still going to be in the middle. Yep, there's a guy up there. Didn't get the kill on him, which is a little bit of a bummer. I'm really just trying to keep the streak going. Don't want to get too... Don't want to get too frisky straight up. Keep the streak going, get that VTOL into that support helo. Start actually doing some work here. I don't know why it bugs me so much when I see people using stun grenades and stuff like that. Like, I mean, they're very, very powerful, so you would definitely use them. It's just that... Nice little headshot there. Oh god. No! Our streak that went the way of the Dodo, which is a little bit unfortunate, but man, like... we just gotta play better here. You can get the shots on the people who do peek out the windows. Like that, you see there, you land a headshot, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a kill. The gun does lots of damage, but as I said, it's always been one of those weapons. It's a little bit harder to use than normal, like your usual assault rifles. And when it comes to games like this, you're always looking for the meta. You're looking for the most efficient tactical approach, which... I mean, why would you use something that's a little bit more difficult than just the M4? Like, should have known there was a guy there. I should have moved a little bit faster. The thing is, with the in Call of Duty, a lot of the time, not every weapon has to be the best gun in the game. Like, you're allowed to have a little bit of variety in terms of, like, not everybody just wants to use the M4 and the MP5, so... Using something that's a little bit different, a little bit more challenging than you're probably used to, man. We should have got that kill much more... Where am I? Much more easily there. That was a big meme. We should not have almost died there. Okay, everything's fine. We're on a decent little streak here. We're on a decent little run. We got 4. Nice, work on a bloodthirst. You need 2 more kills for that VTOL, which we can take advantage of by going out this side of the map. If we come around here, they should be spawning relatively close. Yeah, that's 1. Only need 1 more. And we'll double back just to make sure that nobody's behind us. Not 100% sure where to... Come on. Yep. All right, we'll get the long shot there. We only need one more. I thought we needed one more for the VTOL before, but now it's actually one more. There we go. Okay, I'm in trouble here. In trouble. They are spawning here. Nope. We're going to call in the VTOL here and make sure we get a couple of kills on these nerds. Nope, don't have a lethal. Oh, what's happening? Where are we? Oh, I gotta get some room. Yeah, sometimes you just need a little bit more no! Little crackhead just sprinting around everywhere. There goes the decent stroke coming. We're gonna run around the back. We're gonna push around the back here, take up a decent position behind them. Nice. He's on the he was on the roof. Take a second. Where are we at? Okay. Got the support healer. That was a close one. And we are out of ammo, which is, again, one of the... Are they still trying to... Bro, leave me alone. Alright, we're gonna go off here. They're all run. He says as he runs away like a little girl. Run! Run! Where are they? Oh, we won. Not bad. Not a bad little game there by the end. We actually managed to pull off a decent amount of kills. 43 is pretty good. Alrighty, so what do we think of our Scar class here? Well, it's of course not going to be competing for one of the best guns in the game. This video is going to do kind of poorly because no one's looking up, oh, what's the best Scar class in the game at the moment? But it's one of those weapons that's always going to be decent. Like, you're going to do a decent amount of work with this, and it's a good class to have. If you're looking to get those skins, you get those camos done nice and easily, this is a good option to have. So as I said, definitely not one of the weapons that's at the tip top of the meta, but if you're looking for an interesting Scar class here, it's definitely one for you. This is very fun to use. You do a decent amount of work with this. It's a little bit different, and it does keep the game nice and fresh by using something a little bit different every now and then. As I said, we are looking for, I think, 25 likes on this one. If you haven't already done so, make sure you do hit that like button and do subscribe if you are new around here, of course, so you don't miss out on any more of these class setups. I know this one wasn't super interesting as it's a little bit of a Debbie Downer class. Like, the Scar 20 isn't the best weapon in the game, but it's still pretty good. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!